와, 이것 좀 한번 보세요들. 우리도 이 속도라면 오늘 중 이거 다 끝낼 수 있을 것 같은데.
In 44 BC, 60 senators participated in a conspiracy to murder the Roman dictator Julius Caesar.
Big hands for me!
The tyrannicide led to the Liberator Civil War and ultimately to the Principate period of the Roman Empire and the pineapple pizza. Now imagine if right as the stabbing begins, the very definition of drama, Brutus threw a pie.
자, 이게 우리 모처럼들 이렇게 둘러앉아가지고 일부 핸드폰은 그 재개통, 그리고 쏟아지는 와이파이를 축하하며.
Hutchison, Kant, and Schopenhauer suggest that laughter is a response to what we perceive as a gap or disjunction between what we expected to happen and what actually occurs.
For example, who wants some of these?
Cool. Yeah.
Looking for something?
Nice.
In this meeting, we expect the king patriarch to say grace for the food, but instead, he's thankful for the reconnection of phones and the bounteous internet. There's a contrast between religiosity and the mundane. The work of Bong Joon-ho is built on such moments. Bong is a master at juxtaposing unlikely themes, bringing the two emotional ends of the spectrum together. The further apart on that spectrum, the stronger the emotional response. Sometimes humor, sometimes something more complicated. Like Snowpiercer's climatic battle, featuring this moment of slapstick. He's falling on a fish, yeah. In The Host, this giant fish thing falls down some stairs. And now it's a giant pig thrashing around. Similar to these examples, in Parasite, one of the biggest laughs combines injury with the aesthetic of silent film comedy. Slapstick is generally understood as physical humor of a robust and hyperbolized nature where stunts, acrobatics, pain, and violence are standard features. The scene is indeed physical. This kick is hyperbolized. This flipping fall is an acrobatic stunt, and that thud is painfully violent. That's what this scene has in common with slapstick. In the theater, most people laughed. So it must have worked as slapstick. What sets it apart is that slapstick only creates the appearance of the infliction and suffering of pain, without the actual anguish. When Wile E. Coyote loses a battle with gravity and falls out of the frame, you know he'll be alright. It would be harder to laugh if you thought that was the last time you'd see him. When Moon Guang is pushed into the void, there's no mistaking it. This is real. Other films will soften the impact of real harm by encouraging clear moral framings. Bad guys versus good guys. It's easy to laugh at the caricature of a villain, but in most of Bong's films, there are no clear-cut villains or heroes, so we have no such escape. So she falls, we laugh, and then the insidious question pops up. Should we be laughing? The answer is given in the climatic scene of the film. One of the characters will find themselves covered in frosting right as someone else is stabbed. Julius Caesar meets Buster Keaton. But in this moment, no one is laughing. Let's examine why. Going back to the earlier definition of humor, no one expects a pie in the face. The act is amusing because it bewilders the victim and leaves her with a sugary reminder that there are dunes. It's the most recognizable gag in the history of cinema. And this has all the hallmarks of a great pieing scene. It's surprising, both for the audience and its intervenience. It lands spot on, leaving the victim plastered. And you have great reaction shots with funny attires. So why doesn't anyone laugh? Well, because in case you've forgotten it, someone gets stabbed, you sociopath.
it too brutally.
In The Host, Bong makes you laugh at this man's stupidity. But when the switcheroo happens and he's holding onto the hands of the wrong girl, comedy turns to the horror of parental ineptitude. The delusional belief Detective Park has in his, quote, shaman eyes is hilarious. Yet that credence soon turns into the torturing of a developmentally challenged man.
내 눈 똑바로 봐봐. 어? 어디를 쳐다보는지 알 수가 있냐? 내 눈 똑바로 봐.
It's all a trap, and it's set up since the beginning. Bong wants you to laugh at someone with low IQ, at the miscarriage of justice, at poverty, or the infighting capitalism ideals provoke. But why? Directors will use many different techniques to get their message across, but Bong's is a unique one. He'll turn comedy to horror, or the other way around, to catch the audience with their pants down. Maybe he's shaming us into a higher moral understanding. Or maybe he's just laughing at us.
That's it! Cut! That's it! That's it! Come on, let's move on. Strike that set, boys. Strike that set. Everything there. Let's move. Come on. Let's strike it. I will do a reverse on this deal here. That's right. Get up on here.
Over there.
She's an actress. Legitimate stage.
Here's one thing I've learned from the movies.